We continue now at the top of Daf Chaf Beizam and Beizam Meseches Sotah. This is Sotah Daf 22b. The Gemara says, Viad Kama, how old does a person need to be in order to issue halachic rulings? We were discussing those who issue halachic rulings on the previous summit. And the Gemara says, Adar Boy and Shnin, the person has to be 40 years old. The Gemara says, Ini, is that really the case? V'ha Rabba, Ori, but didn't he issue halachic rulings? And he was not 40 years old. And the Gemara answers, Beshav, and that was talking about in a situation where they were equals. Rashi explains, Viad Kama, have a roy lahora, how old does a person have to be in order to be fit to issue halachic rulings? V'ha Rabba, Ori, but didn't Rabba issue rulings? V'chol shenosav einan elamem, he only lived for 40 years. So clearly he issued rulings before he was 40. Ken amrinam b'Rosh Hashanah, Rabba v'abayim midabeis eli ka'asu. That's what we say in Meseches Rosh Hashanah. We'll note over here that Mesoras Hashas says, Ba'avodah Zarah Yutes Amid Beis Isa Rava Ayin Sham Perish Rashi. And Avodah Zarah, instead of having the girsa of Rabba, it says Rava, and it says you can look over there in Rashi. And then the Gemara answered B'Shavin, we're talking by equals, meaning Im Shavil L'Gadol Ha'ir B'Chachma Mutter L'Horos. If he's equal to the greatest person in the city in terms of wisdom, then it's permitted for him, even if he's less than 40, to issue halachic rulings. O She'ein Zaken Mimenu Ba'ir, let's say there's nobody older than him in the city, then also he's able to issue these halachic rulings. And the Gemara continues at the two dots. Again, it said in the Mishnah, Umakos Prushin, those who injure themselves based on false abstinence, they're also of the individuals who are Mevale Olam, they're people who erode the world. And the Gemara says, Tanu Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Shiva Perushin Hain, there are 7 individuals who have a false kind of righteousness. Parush Shechmi refers to those who are righteous like those in Shechem. Parush Nikvi, Parush Kizoi, Parush Meduchya. Parush Nikvi is going to be explained in the Gemara in a moment. Parush Kizoi is those who are righteous bloodletters, and Parush Meduchya, those who are righteous like pestles. Parush Machovasi, those who are righteous who say, what is my obligation, Vesena, and I will perform it. Parush Mayava, those who are righteous out of love. And Parush Miyira, those who are righteous out of fear. And the Gemara now explains the various individuals. Parush Shechmi, what does it mean, Parush Shechmi? Zeha'osa Maisa Shechem, that refers to individuals who act like those in Shechem. Rashi explains, Maisa Shechem Shemalu Shalo L'Shem Shamayim. The people of Shechem, they had bris milah, but it wasn't for the sake of heaven. Avzeh Maisa V'Lahanaso, they're just doing it. So to this individual, he does it for his own benefit. Sheyichabdu B'nei Adam, the people should respect him. V'lo L'Shem Shamayim, he's not doing it L'Shem Shamayim. What's Parush Nikvi? Zeh Hamankif Es Raglav. Parush Nikvi is somebody who's Mankif Raglav. Rashi explains that. Mankif Raglav Mahalich B'Shiflus Okev B'Tzad Godel. It means the way he walks, he tries to walk in a humble manner. He takes small steps. Ve'enam Meirim Raglav Min Aretz. He doesn't lift his feet from the ground. Umitoch Chach Menakef Etzbaos Ba'avanim. This causes injuries to his feet on the stones. That's this person who's considered Parush Nikfi. Parush Kizai, that refers to bloodletting. What does that mean? Amar of Nachmar Yitzchak Zehamak is Dam L'Ksalim. That refers to someone who bloodlets in the sense that he walks into the walls. Also, apparently out of modesty, causes him to bleed. Rashi says, "Makis dam l'ksalam osa asmo ka'otzim einav." He acts like he's closing his eyes, shlo yistakel b'nosham, as if he doesn't want to look at women. And we talk chach maka rosha b'kosel, because of that he hits his head against the wall. V'adam yotze, and then he bleeds. That's parush kizoi. Parush Meduchya, what's Parush? What does it mean? Righteous like a pestle. Amar Rabba Bar Shila. Rabba Bar Shila says the Meshapa Ki Meduchi. He's bent over in the shape of a pestle. Rashi says the Meshapa Holech Kafaf. Again, he walks. He's bent over. Ki Meduchya Buchna Asoi K'Makeves V'Rosho Kafaf. It's like bent over again. A false kind of humility. Parush Machovasi V'Asena, the righteous person who says, "What's my obligation?" and I will perform it. And the Gemara says, "Hamal Yusi." Isn't that a good thing? The person wants to perform his obligations. Rashi says, "Parush Machovasi V'Asena Limduni Ma'alei Lasos V'Esa." Teach me what to do, and I'll do it. And the Gemara says, "Hamal Yusi." That's a good thing. It may no baki bisur and v'dikduke mitzvos balilman. He doesn't know what's prohibited, etc., and he's trying to learn. So what's wrong with that? And so the Gemara explains, Eladam, or rather, what we're talking about is somebody who says, "Machovasi Su V'Asena." What more do I need to do? Let me perform it, as if he's already done all of the basic mitzvahs. Rashi says, "Machovasi Su V'Asena Ma'alasos Od V'Lo Asisi Umara Atzmo Ki'ilu Kiyem Esakol." He's making it as though he's done everything. What more is there to do? And the Gemara continues, Parush Meyava, Parush Meyir. Then you have those who are righteous out of love and out of fear. And Rashi says, Parush Meyava, Meyava Schar HaMitzvahs, V'lo Li'avas Mitzvahs HaBore. Love means they want the reward, not that they love doing the mitzvahs of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Meyira means Shalonshin, they're afraid of punishment. And so, Elama al ha'adam la'asos me'avas Hashem yisborach kasher tzivo Hashem alokeinu v'sof aschar lavo. Really, says Rashi, what a person is supposed to do is doing it out of love of Hashem, as HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded, and then the reward will eventually come. So in any case, those were the last two cases of Parush Me'av and Parush Me'ira, and Amru le'Abaye v'Rava l'Tana. So Abaye and Rava, they said to the Tana who taught these things, Lo tisni Parush Me'av and Parush Me'ira. Don't list among this group of people those who are righteous out of love and out of fear, because that's actually a good thing. The Amar Rav Yudah Rav, because Rav Yudah said that Rav said, Liolam yasok adam Torah mitzvahs afilu shelo lishma. Person should perform Torah and mitzvahs even if it is not for the right reasons. Shemitoch shelo lishma bo lishma. Because since he's doing it shelo lishma, eventually it will come to be lishma. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says, "The mitamra, that which is hidden, with the megalia, and that which is revealed is revealed. Beidino Rabba, the great court, Lispera Mehani dechafu gundi, will exact payment from those who wear the cloak." Rashi explains, "The mitamra hanistaros mimdeyadim, that which is hidden from people. V'hagaluyos, that which is revealed is revealed. Umikol makom, and nevertheless, lebezin hagadol, to the great court, refers to the bezin shel mala, kulam galuyos, everything is revealed. V'hu yifra min hamiskasim betalisos umarin atzmon kiprushin ve'enam prushin, and it's going to exact a punishment from those who wear the talis, and they try to show themselves as if they are pious, but they are not really pious." And the Gemara continues, Amar lo Yanai Malko ledivise. Yanai HaMelech said to his wife, Al tisiri ben ha-Prushin, don't fear the Prushin. Velomi misha einon Prushin, and don't fear those that are not Prushin. Ela min hatzavu, and you should only fear those who wear colors. Shedomin lefrushin, they seem like Prushin. Shemasein kamaisei Zimri, really their deeds, their actions are the actions of Zimri. Umevakshin schar Pinchas, but they seek out the reward of Pinchas. And Rashi explains, Al tisiyari min ha-Prushin. We're talking here, according to Rashi, Prushin, we're talking about the Prushin who were the sages of the Gemara, Hayusonano, so they hated Yanei HaMelech, Lefi Shahorag min HaChachamim Har, because he killed many of the Chachamim, Benepach Lios Tzeduki, and he became a Tzeduki, which again were the enemies of the Perushim. Yanei HaMelech was one of the Chashmonai kings who lived during the times of the second Beis HaMikdash. Kedamar Bekedushin, like we say in Kedushin. Now when Yanei HaMelech died, his wife was afraid of the Prushim. She was afraid that they would take away the kingship from her sons. So she said to him that he should request from them that they should protect her and her children. So he said to her, don't worry about the Prushin, don't fear them. Because they're righteous. They're not going to pay you back evil. Not to your sons, who didn't do any sins to them. You don't have to worry about them. You also don't have to worry about the non-Prushin, because they like me, so they're not going to do anything. Who do you have to worry about? Element hatzivuim. You have to worry about those who are colored. What that means is as follows. What it means is that they're outside, what they look like is not what they're really like. Rather, they wear colors on the outside, but their inside is not like their outside. The point is they pretend to be tzaddikim, but they're not. They're wicked. They want reward like Pinchas, even though really their actions are those of Zimri. They want the people to honor them, to respect them, like Pinchas. Rashi notes over here, some people explain the word Prushim over here does not mean the Prushim like the opposite of the Tzedukim. It doesn't mean the sages of the Gemara, but Prushim means those who are Tzniusa. It means those who are modest, those who act with Tznius. And again, the same basic explanation, but just a different explanation of what the Prushim are. And the Gemara continues with the Mishnah. Rabbi Shimon Omer, Rabbi Shimon says, if the woman has merits, it is not going to delay the punishment by the bitter waters. And if you're going to say that the merit can delay the punishment by the cursed waters, so then you're like weakening the strength of the water in front of all the women, hashosos, who drink the waters. They're not going to think that the waters are actually effective. You're also saying shem ra, you're also saying bad about those who are actually innocent, shashasu, that they drank and they came out innocent, sha'omrim tmeyosen, because people will say really they were defiled, really they're not innocent, it's just that they had a merit, and that's delaying their punishment. And so therefore Rabbi Shimon disagrees with the idea that the waters don't always work because the merits can delay the punishment. According to Rabbi Shimon, that cannot be true. And the Mishnah continues, Rebbe says, Hazachus tola b'mayim hamaorim. Actually, the Zachus does delay the punishment when it comes to the cursed waters. However, ve'ena yoledes ve'ena mishabachas. But nevertheless, she doesn't have any of the blessings. She won't be able to give birth. She's not going to improve. Elamis navne v'holeches. Rather, she's going to deteriorate. And l'sof hi meiza ba'osamis. And in the end, she will die with that death of the Sotah. And the Mishnah continues, Nitmes minchasa ad shelo kitcha bekli. Let's say her karban mincha becomes tameh before it is sanctified in a kli shares. So harei kechol hamenachos. It's like all other karban minchas in that situation. V'tifta, and it can be redeemed. What you do is you take a coin or something of that nature, and you redeem the kedusha from the mincha onto that coin. You use that coin to buy a future karban mincha. That's how you take the kedusha off of that karban mincha that became tameh. But if it already became sanctified in kli shares, at that point in time it has what's called kedushas haguf. It can't be redeemed. So harei kechol hamenachos v'tisarif. Then it becomes like other karban minchas in that situation, and it is burned. V'elu shemin chosei nisrafos. In the following situations are cases where the karban mincha is going to be burned. Rashi explains, Harei kachal menachas should nitmu ad shelo kitcha bekli. Like all other menachas that become tami before they go into a kli shares, v'tifta v'teitzi lechulin, you can redeem it, and it goes out lechulin umehamos, you can acheres. And again, as we explained, from the money you purchase another one, v'tisarif, and it's burned, shekitcha kedushas haguf, because at that point in time, if it wasn't just sanctified verbally, but it was already sanctified in kli shares, that's kedushas haguf, it has to be burned. Ve'ena yotze od lechulin, it can no longer be redeemed at lechulin. And we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yomi Gemara Amud Aleph.